Hi, it's Frank from Canadian Tropicals. Today, I'm going to talk about strawberries. Now, here's the problem I have. I used to have strawberries growing along the patch below, and I have tons of strawberry plants that have overtaken this patch up here. Now, what I had was I had Everbearing strawberries down below, and I had June-bearing strawberries up above. So I planted both halves, and then I tasted them when they came ripe. And what I found was the Everbearing strawberries, they lacked the flavor. And I think that was because they were Everbearing. They were constantly putting their energy into producing fruit. Whereas the June-bearing were so much more tastier, so much more juicier, because they put all their energy into that one oomph. So my entire family agreed, Everbearing strawberries, go away, and we're gonna have 2 fields of June-bearing strawberries for an even bigger crop, but a tastier crop. So today's task is removing all of these extra strawberries and moving them down below. Now, what I'll be doing, because I am ripping these strawberry plants out of the ground, is I'm going to take all of these large leaves and remove them. And I'm just going to leave a few of the smaller leaves and the roots, and that's because it had so much root damage. I don't want the amount of upper plant to become dehydrated or starving for nutrition until these roots have a chance to restore. So now that I've got a small amount in the crown, all this, it's a fairly large crown, and all the energy is stored in here. So this can now expand during the winter, and then by spring I'll have a nice healthy plant. Now, I won't remove the leaves from these small ones that have roots that have not grown into the ground yet. There's been no root damage to it. There's no reason to be cutting off the extra leaves. It's got a good root development compared to the leaf amount. And I'll also leave on this little tendril as well, because that's still stored energy that this plant can use. And like I said, because the leaves are small still, there's no reason to cut them off. If this had grown big leaves, I would have cut them off. But these are still small leaves, good root development in relation to the amount of leaves. There's no reason to cut anything back on here. When trying to decide how much leaves you should leave on this, I like to approach it as if I'm doing cuttings. So I ask myself, if this was a cutting and this is the amount of root development it had, would it survive in the garden if I planted it out? And if the answer is no, take off the extra leaves. And once you have a size that you think, yes, the amount of roots would support this plant if it was a cutting, then plant it out. Next comes the planting out phase. Strawberries are good about 6 inches apart. I like, for myself, I want to have about a foot wide row going along the edge of the garden. And I don't dig a hole to plant the strawberries. Because strawberries spread by these runners, they are very adept at pulling themselves into the ground. So all I need to do is simply remove a little bit of the bark mulch, put the strawberry in it, and then cover it, leaving the top of that crown exposed. Now, bark mulch is acidic. Soil has a natural buffering, so that even though bark mulch is acidic, it does not acidify the soil. But strawberries love acidic soil. So by planting them in the bark mulch, they get that extra acidity that they want. And they'll be able to pull themselves down and get the nutrients from the ground below. Project now completed. Like I said, I've left about a foot of strawberries growing along the edge of the path. and I've allowed for new strawberries to grow along the lower level. So you're probably asking why plant strawberries in my flower beds to begin with. Because it's valuable real estate. This is, it allows me to grow something in a space that usually goes underutilized in a flower bed, right along the edge. And also I can take advantage of the acidity of the bark mulch without having to mulch an entirely new field. And that's it. Thanks for watching. Please remember to leave a comment and check out my Etsy store. The link is in the comments. Thanks. Bye.